For a lot of my life, I thought there was kind of two parts of me sexually. There was like the raw animal power, energy, passion. And then there was like the more mushy stuff, which I didn't always like to go there. How many of you can relate? Where it was like how I felt, or it was like knowing in your heart, maybe even feel it physically. So I looked, or I attracted partners where I started to learn only A or B. I didn't think there was A, B was an answer. So my story was being in Colombia. I've been in Medellin almost 10 years, moving into Miami in a couple months. There was a lot of drugs, a lot of Molly, Cialis to counteract the Molly, drinking, smoking, a lot of prostitutes, a lot of wild sex, dating 6 women at the same time. I didn't know there was much deeper pain in me underneath that I confronted later with ayahuasca. So I thought these two parts were separate. And then I met a woman years ago who really awakened something in my heart. I knew her as a friend for about 18 months, and then we started dating. And I didn't know how to navigate it. I was kind of insecure at that point, based on some stuff that happened, based on a sex club breakup after that phase. So like my raw animal was kind of shut down or afraid. And then scared, didn't know how to ask for things, or sometimes it was just a dick and too blunt or too indirect, kind of one extreme or the other. Brought up a lot of emotions I didn't know I had, I didn't want to deal with. And we can get to this place because you've had that feeling, and it's an uncomfortable feeling. And if you haven't had it, maybe you're going to have it more soon. Where you finish, you ejaculate, and you just like, oh, I don't like this girl as much. Post-nut clarity, as they affectionately refer to it. And it starts to feel worse. But then you meet a girl, maybe she's wife material, and something like you want to give to her, and it's like it could be confusing, but it feels good, but it feels terrifying, but it feels inspirational. And what men can come to realize, I think it's part of the reason men cheat, there's many reasons why people cheat, is those two things are separate. Like the feelings in our heart and the raw pleasure or animal stuff or whatever are two separate things. Almost like we have our body and we have our heart or our emotions. For the female experience, those two things are very much intimately intertwined and connected, and they don't compartmentalize like we do as men, being more rational creatures versus the long-haired emotional creatures that women are. So I met this girl, and it was like my heart connected in a different way during sex. And then we broke up, and there was kind of this confusion in me of, man, can I have like the wild sex or like my heart? And I felt like I had to choose between love and sex. And I remember, man, this is years ago now, it was miserable. Because I was like, what the fuck? Like, this sucks. It's just, which sucky thing do I pick? Didn't know how to communicate back then. Or my nervous system was so fried that I couldn't communicate well. So it came through as hiding, or it came through as just like blurting everything out. What I have found, especially guys that have slept around a lot, dated around a lot, done the open relationship thing, sex club thing, whatever, is that we generally don't believe we can find it in one woman. We generally don't know that it's possible inside ourselves. So if it's not possible inside ourselves, no person, no woman is going to be able to fulfill it if we can't do it with us. And it leads to this pain, to this confusion, to cheating. What if you met a woman? Or what if you could change your current woman into this woman through your work, not hers, where you had the best sex of your life, and you actually felt, assuming you're dating the person, more monogamous after, like, oh, but like, I still kind of think like, oh yeah, the girl's cute at the cashier, but it's not the same. I like, really, like, my woman is my woman. When you learn to train your body and you start to release sexual shame and things like that, you can have a different level of performance. You can have a different level of sexual energy, a different level of charge that almost like an animalistic way, women will sense you, smell you. It's weird. Very primal. And you can do exercises where you can make love for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Don't fall into the trap I did and track every ejaculation for 4.5 years like I did. Had some benefit for a bit, but ultimately stayed in that about 2 or 3 years too long. But what I'm here to invite you to consider, to tell you, there's a whole different universe that exists with dating and sex. Whole different universe. And in that, you have to see which are the hypnosises of society. Most people, if you talk to a dude who's 40, 50, 60, he's been married 10, 20 years, he'll tell you how much worse it gets. That's true. For most people. Whether it's been my own life experience or couples I've worked with or couples I've known, there's this energetic stacking effect of love and sex if you do it right. I went to this cafe that I loved outside of Sedona, Arizona. And it changed how I saw energy or how you could layer things. I walked in this cafe, this guy had had it for almost 2 decades. It felt so amazing. Man, I felt like I was at a spa. Like, I literally felt better than most spas I've been to. And I asked this guy, hey, like, how do you do this? Do you have like some kind of rock or quartz or crystal buried in one section, another section, and a Buddha here? And like, how can I replicate this? It feels so good. And he's like, well, it doesn't really work that way. He's like, we've layered energy. He's like, we've served people these great meals. We're really passionate about it. And, we do things with the property, but it's not as simple as putting a stone on the west side of the property and a Buddha on the north side of the property. And that was many years ago now. I started to see the same thing with relationships. Most people are stacking pain, hurt, and especially if you're a guy dating women, confusion. And they're stacking that. So that's what they're bringing into a relationship, and that's often what they're creating more of. The opposite is also true. What if you could have a girl that you could bring her home to mom, and she is so open in the bedroom, so connected to you, she feels so safe that she's done things in the bedroom that she said she'd never do or she's never done with anyone? Because she opens. The female process is literally like a flower opening up. You can't rush it. You can't tell it to smile or look cute. It has to blossom in the right environment. But it is like that, and it's not like that, because it's actually like if you're investing in a relationship and investing sexually in aligned ways, it actually opens up to like a never-ending garden of these blossoming flowers. Most men will never get to see it, but if you've stayed 9 minutes and 14 seconds into this video, you're different. A lot of us as guys is what we'll do is we'll have some peak sexual experience, and we could say it was the girl, and you were traveling or whatever, or it was you rented a cool car, maybe that helped. Did you eat oysters and zinc? Or my favorite, the one I personally can relate to from my past. You're on drugs or alcohol quite a bit, but not too much. Like when you had 7 shots and somehow you don't know how you can make love for an hour. But then also, if you had the 8th shot, you would just pass out maybe and not be able to perform. So there's these states many of us have accessed through alcohol and drugs that with two people doing their work, it's pretty ready available. When you see a woman open completely, it's one of the most amazing things in the fucking universe. On an emotional level, on a sexual level, on an energetic level. When you learn how to move energy through women's bodies and you can see them moving like they just took one of the strongest psychedelics in the world. These are all real things. You have to know where to look, you have to know where to talk to, who to talk to, but they're not fantasy things on the internet. A different level of sex and love is out there. Do you have the courage? Do you have the balls to commit to it and to go find it?